All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This should be the final video, at least when it comes to the basics of how to use these. I will have another video later on how to add your own assets, but for right now, we're going to cover the second script, the terrain builder script. So to do that, you should be looking at something like this if you've been following along. And you're going to want to go to Edit, Preferences, and remember where I said you only want to have one script active at a time. This is where we're going to deactivate the one we've been using now. And I have to cut in here again because I forgot that my screen capture software was not recording the drop-down boxes. So to go in and disable the script, you're going to want to go and pull in the go to the preferences section again. And if you didn't install the other script when we in the first tutorial, go ahead and do that now. Just click install and go to wherever you saved the second script, find it, click on it and click install. And then once you've got them installed, you'll want to uncheck the one we have installed now, the base creator one. And again, the names will be a little bit different when you guys see them. I'm recording this before I share the final version. So go ahead and unclick that and then check the other script to enable it. And again, I'll send out clarification on which name is which when I share everything, but for right now these are just my test names. Do that, exit out of the preferences, and then you're going to see three tabs over here. There's an import tab, a main tab, and a finalize tab. And you'll again want to click initialize on this one, and that should set everything back. I actually might have there might be cases where a few things don't get deleted there. So in those cases, you might want to just close out Blender. Or if you know a little bit about Blender, you can select and click delete. But again, that might delete some other things in the scene, and then you can just go back and click initialize. But best course of action would probably be to close out Blender and start again. But either one works. And pretty much the way this one works is it's got a couple of little rectangles there that you'll click to place spaces and windows and stuff like that. So let's get started. So this one, you can always click that initialize or you can click reset. It's just a little bit quicker because what the initialize does, it gets rid of everything, including this little the little rectangles in the middle, and then rebuilds everything. Reset just gets rid of the bases you've created and starts again. But that's probably more detail than you needed. This edit mode is this is actually a button I used when testing this to fix issues, so that probably won't be in your final version. Same with this one, these are both test buttons, so ignore those for right now. You should have this theme button, and that's just like before. That's where we're going to pick the theme we're going to use. We'll go in and import some add-ons like we did before. I'll import some of the same ones. You know what? Maybe I'll pick some new ones too. Pick some. I think there's some cool sci-fi ones I haven't looked at in a while, and maybe this one too. So we're gonna pick a theme. I'll go with some sci-fi stuff, and you can place bases, walls, doors, windows, or columns. Again, like before, be sure to place a window before you place, or excuse me, a wall before you place any bases or doors or windows or anything like that. So if I can speak properly today, we will start building some stuff. So just click on a rectangle where you want to place something, and you can do random selection like before. I think that still works, or just pick the specific name. Again, the names might not tell you all that much, but yeah, you'll have to play around with them a little bit and see what you like, see what you don't like. All part of the fun. So once you've done that, you can create some walls. So that'll change the rectangles so they are little blue rectangles this time and facing upwards. And let's see, I don't remember what these look like. I haven't seen these in a while. Oh, neat. So let's see, I got a couple different ones in here. Kind of like that other one more. I'll build some more of those. You might see something weird flash there for a little bit. That's just because the program imports the specific file before it snaps it into place. So don't be concerned. And then again, we have this drop down here for the specific item you want to work with, and you can adjust the width, the height. And I think this one isn't as, if I remember correctly, this script isn't as constrained as the other one, so you can move things off in weird directions, and it's not going to snap. So just keep that in mind. I made this one a little less foolproof. So keep that in mind. You can slide windows and doors over onto the next base. Some people might like that functionality, so I didn't constrain it too much yet. But if you move something off to the side, all the dimensions are based on the base it's currently on. So if you click 0 in that location button, it'll snap to the middle. I don't think you can move things up though, or at least not walls, because you don't want walls floating in the middle of nowhere. But I'll add a few more walls here. But yeah, just keep that in mind. It's not totally constrained the way the way the other one was, where it's not going to let you place things in weird places. You can do that, but I figure most people are smart enough to know not to do that, so not a huge deal. But if it is an issue, let me know, and I can go ahead and add some more constraints. So I'll just place some walls here. I'll add some windows too. Well, I should add some doors first. Same as before, you can add the open doors will actually cut stuff out of the wall. And I know it might be kind of hard to see sometimes. It might be kind of hard to see the little green triangles, and sometimes the door might cut over them, so just keep that in mind. If you click on a different base, it'll move stuff away. But yeah, once you're on a base, you can go over here, and I know the names are kind of confusing too. They're probably more beneficial to me while I was testing them than it will be to you, but you should be able to figure it out. It'll tell which, well, this will just be the base, for example. Got the walls on the left, and all the left and right and up and down are all based on, if you're looking at it like this. So the letters will be at the top, that'll be up, down, left, and right. So wall left will be that left wall, this will be wall up, and then the door will be wall up, door 0. And for those, you can also change the thickness and the height and all that good stuff. The location if you want. Well, I guess I'll add a couple of windows. Let's see. Yeah, this doesn't have all the same functionality as the other one. I didn't add the weathering part where you can add ruins to the walls. But if people end up liking that function, I'll make sure that both are implemented in, or that's implemented in both scripts. So test that out and let me know what you think. I will play around with it some more. So yeah, pretty straightforward though. I guess I'll add a column somewhere too. Let's see. And the columns, you'll just, that'll just have one green square in the middle where you can place a column like, oh, I didn't have anything selected. Oops. There we go. My bad. Yeah, I still have to have one constraint to stop it from trying to calculate things if there's nothing in there. That'll be fixed by the time I send out the final version. So that's one of the final T's I have to cross and I's I have to dot. But don't worry about that. That'll be fixed by the time the final version gets sent out. So yeah, you can move the columns around. You can move them slightly over onto the next base. I wouldn't do that because it might be hard to match things up once you've combined and exported everything, once you've printed them. You can combine everything as one piece and export it as that. I wouldn't recommend that because that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go to the final tab and export everything. Now, if you leave this unchecked, it'll combine everything by the specific base and export them as individual STLs. If you click combine all, it'll combine everything into one scene, but it should work. But I would only do that if you have a pretty small number of bases, just because the geometry will be pretty high, so you'll get an STL out of it, but it might take your slicer a long time to figure things out. So I would leave that unchecked unless you have like maybe 2 or 3 in there. So I'm just going to click this and leave that unchecked. And yeah, if everything snaps back to the way it was originally, you'll know it worked. And let me check that Terrain Creator Exports folder real quick. looks like it's got that. So I'm going to pull up Cura in just a sec so we can take a look at those. So I will see you guys in a sec.